Hello, everyone, and welcome to Breathe Motivation. My name's Anthony Hester. I am the host for this show. So glad to join you guys here on 2019. I know it's been a while since I posted. It's been really busy, really kind of hectic. You know, the schedule's gotten a little above me, but I'm going to take responsibility and say I'm going to make sure that I get back to the weekly. You know, things just got a little bit hectic towards the end of the year, and I'm going to move forward and get this show to you weekly like I committed to. So I apologize for that, but I'm so grateful for you guys to be here, whether you're a new listener, whether you've been with us since episode 1. I greatly appreciate you guys for tuning in. So thank you guys so much. So today I'm going to cover, these 3 words that really kind of help me push through the end of the year and really start my new year off right. I have these posted in my office. I have them posted in my car. So I really just remember these 3 words, and it's the ABCs that I really focus on. And I want to get started with that because I think this is going to help really push you through the beginning of the year and all throughout this year. And really just daily, I look at these words daily and just remember what I want to do and what I set out to accomplish. And that's what's really going to help you move forward. So let's get started with that. So number, it's not a number, it's a letter, right? So the letter is A, which is attitude. So it's really interesting. I might have shared this, in my episode, and I think this is one of the most popular episodes of the back few, probably from 6-7 months ago, and it's attitude is everything. And I still believe that wholeheartedly, but, the letters of the alphabet all add, if you were to add, let's just say A is number 1, right? To Z is 26. If you were to go through the alphabet and number each letter, attitude equals out to 100. And I think that's amazing about attitude, right? Your attitude is 100% within your control. One of the things that I learned in door-to-door several years ago, probably 8-9 years ago now, was, he who controls your emotions controls you. And there was a lot of times that I would allow other people to really, take control of my attitude. And, whether it was customers that would slam doors in my face, whether it was people that were around me that were kind of negative, I didn't have full control over my attitude. And once I heard that quote, and when I heard that, I really took control of that. And it still sticks with me to this day, is I've learned that 100% of my attitude is within 100% of my control. And it's all going to come down to your perspective and your attitude towards life. Your life is really 100% within your control. There are going to be outside factors that you can't control, and that's what you've got to be able to let go of and say, hey, I'm in control of the things I can control and move forward. Your attitude, whether it's positive, negative, good, bad, well, however you want to look at it, that is going to be how your world kind of shakes out, And it sounds crazy, and a lot of people are like, oh man, there's so many other things that I don't control, and that's exactly right. I think when it comes down to life, for me, that was one of my biggest things. It was hard for me to let control of other things, right? I wanted to control, not even control people, but I thought I could change things about people or help them to see a different aspects. But at the end of the day, you can't control other people. You can't change other people. The people within themselves have to change. And if those people aren't willing to change or, aren't kind of fitting into what you need, you've got to be able to let go of those people, especially if they're negative or bring you down or toxic. You've got to be able to say, hey, I can't be around this because it's just my attitude. And naturally it will. And a lot of the times you've got to just be able to look at it in the face and say, hey, you know what? I love myself more than having a negative attitude. I've got to be able to change that attitude. I've got to be able to control the things I can control within my life and make things happen and, really reach for success. So I always recommend that having your attitude, be very aware of your attitude that you have towards life. Are you excited when you wake up to go to work? If you're not, start looking for other things. Start looking for things that are going to make you happier, because at the end of the day, we spend a lot of time at work. We probably spend a lot more time at work than we do with our family or friends, because by the time you get home, you're exhausted. You don't want to do anything. So if you're not enjoying what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, start looking for things. And it might not even just be work. It might just be your everyday life. Your attitude and your perspective of life can change. You've got to be able to just take control of that and say, hey, you know what? this is, I've seen that I've been in a negative state so far. I can change into a positive thing. And don't expect changes overnight. Start to make little changes every day that are going to help you get better. That's where people don't get that burnout feeling or say, get down on themselves that, hey, this isn't working or this isn't changing. Take little small steps at a time, right? As you start to take those small steps, they compound and start to become more effective. And then that you start reaching those goals and that success further and quicker. So just follow that and make sure that you're focused on getting all those things done. Because when you do that, your attitude becomes so positive and so outreaching. You're able to affect other people and affect other things in your life. And you'll be surprised at all the great things that come back to you based on your attitude. So that's A. Let's move on to B. B is going to be for belief. You've got to have a strong belief in yourself that you can accomplish and succeed in this world, because you're the only one that can really create that within yourself, to really believe that within your heart, believe that within your soul, believe that within your mind and body, because that's what's going to lead towards success. You can have other people that believe in you, but they aren't going to be the motor that drives you forward. You've got to have that belief system within you. And the way to have that happen is to really sit down, write out your goals, and really look at what you want to accomplish. And, start to move towards those. Like, again, with your attitude, one bit by bit, one little thing that you do every day will create a belief within yourself. So if you are very low in self-esteem or self-confidence, when you start to move towards that goal of what you're doing, right, you've got to be able to do it a bit at a time. Because what happens is people try to take on, the huge goal, that could be like a yearly goal, and you try to get that done within days and weeks, and it just doesn't work like that. I learned that that lesson several years ago. I always used to go after these big, huge goals and think, oh, you know what? If I work hard every day towards this goal that I should be able to hit in 5 years, I'll be able to get it done within, a couple months. And realistically, it wasn't realistic, right? I wasn't able to accomplish those things, and I would get discouraged. So that would take me off that track. But you've got to have a belief within yourself that you can succeed and know that you can do whatever you want to in life. You've got to have that belief within yourself. And if you're struggling with confidence, you're struggling with self-esteem, start looking at the positives of what you've got in your life. You've got to be able to start looking at the things you're grateful for and appreciative of, because when you start to look at those things, your life starts to really focus and get more of those positive things in your life. And when you start to focus on those positive things, that belief and that encouragement within yourself will lead you to great success. And you've just got to keep moving. You've got to believe within yourself that you can accomplish anything you want to. Set outlandish goals, right? Set them. I tell you to set them, but have a realistic time frame of when those goals are going to be reached. Really, think about it. Walk through these goals. A lot of the times when people say write down goals, you'll just write down goals thinking that, hey, a lot of the times they're not even your goals that you want to accomplish. They're things that you think other people want you to accomplish, and that's going to make you better, and it doesn't. So really take your time to really evaluate your goals, evaluate what you want out of life, because that's what's really going to help drive you. That's going to help create that better attitude within you. If you're doing things that you enjoy doing, not what other people want you to do or what you enjoy doing or what they enjoy you doing, that's important, right? You can get so lost in other people's beliefs within you, right? Or people will encourage you. When you believe in yourself, you get that encouragement behind you, and that excels, faster for you. But at the end of the day, you can't rely on other people's belief in you, because there are a lot of things that, there are a lot of people that want to accomplish things and have goals, but they're so scared to move forward with them that they want to drag you down, because they think if you change, you're going to go away. And, it's a very weird process, but, people think that you're going to be so different, or you're not going to include them in your thing, in your life. And that's so different. But, at the end of the day, when you make that commitment to yourself and you have that belief within yourself, you're going to find greatness within. But at the same time, people don't just go away, right? People are going to encourage you. People are going to try to drag you down. But at the end of the day, it's going to be that belief within yourself and that belief in your goal and that mindset for success that's either going to, propel you forward or drag you down. And I know that a majority of you are going to move forward just based on your belief. And if you struggle with something, the greatest thing that you can do is really, ask other people for help. I like to read. If I don't know something, I like to read a book that's going to help me in a certain way that I need help, right? Start looking for mentors. Books can be, mentors, like out of the way mentors. Start watching YouTube videos based on, people that you are encouraged by, or people that are in the same kind of field that you want to go into. Right? I like to watch motivational speakers on YouTube just to kind of see how they do things. And, I love hearing that message. And those guys are kind of like my mentors from afar, right? It's interesting on how that works, but you start to pick up things around those people and you start to get that encouragement that you can do that. If this person can do this, then I can do this as well. And you've got to be able to have that belief within yourself. And then when you start to find that belief, great things will still continue to happen. You'll start to find that belief. You're able to actually encourage other people to find that belief within themselves, be able to share yourself and share your successes. And as you share those successes with other people, those successes will, lead to great success around other people. You're able to touch more people. The best thing to do is really when you take care of yourself and you're healthy and happy and moving in the right direction, guess what? You make a bigger impact in other people's lives because you're able to give more without feeling like it's taking away from you. It's not draining your energy. You're giving, that energy is being created within you, and you're able to give more because you have more energy, because you have that belief and that success and that confidence within yourself to move forward. The next one is C. And I think this is a really important one, and I think this takes a lot, but it's courage, right? You've got to be able to have the courage to stand up for what you want. A lot of people are scared to just even take that first step towards their life, towards what they want to accomplish, right? It's very scary, like last year, and I think I've shared this with you guys, I had 4 or 5 different jobs, right? and it was interesting to see, but, I learned so much over that time frame. And a lot of people will judge you and say, man, why are you jumping from job to job? But it gave me a lot of insight to how, what I was looking for in a position. It told me, what I was going to accept out of a company. It taught me a lot of great things, and I had to have courage to take those steps, to go to 4 or 5 different jobs, right? Because you want that stability. We naturally want stability, and it wasn't very much stability, but I had the courage to try something different, to go into different avenues, and it really gave me a better perspective of what to find and how to find those things in life. But you've got to be able to have courage. You've got to have that courage to step out and do what you want to do in life. And you've got to take, those steps towards, your goals. And if you don't, it's like being trapped, right? You get trapped in these ruts. You start doing the same things over and over again, right? You get complacent. And that's what really creates kind of that miserable feeling within, is that you're not chasing what you want to. But I guarantee that if you have that courage to step up and step out and do something different, you're going to find greater success. And you're going to look back one day and say, man, why didn't I do this years ago, right? That's what I've learned. It's the same thing with this podcast. It's the same thing with, all the things that I've done in the last couple of years. I took a step and I had some courage to go out there and, put myself out there, be vulnerable. I was so scared to share things with other people. But at the end of the day, as I started this podcast, I was like, man, why didn't I do this years ago? I sat around forever thinking about doing a podcast and how could I, make an impact with people, because I love people. And at the end of the day, I want humans and people to, accomplish goals, and I want them to be positive. I want, great things to happen. And this is a great platform to be able to encourage people that maybe are going through the same things I have. So it took a little bit of courage for me to get out in front of people, and it's been the best thing ever. And I could have done it earlier, but I didn't. I hesitated. So have that courage to step up, step out, and do the best thing you can do. And you'll be amazed at all these great things. So the recap of this, ABC, right? Attitude, belief, courage. If you have those 3 things, you're going to push through and have a great 2019. You're going to have a great day if you can remember to have a great attitude, have belief within yourself, and have the courage to do things that other people, or even just yourself, that you think you couldn't do, or other people might think you can't do. And, prove them wrong, prove yourself wrong, and really go towards those goals. So let me leave you this quote. People will throw stones at you. Don't throw them back, collect them all, and build an empire. And that's anonymous. So follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Breathe Motivate. Like my page on Facebook, Breathe Motivation. Check out my website, breathemotivation.com. And if you have any questions, need anything, you can reach out to me on social media platforms. And also Anthony Hester at breathemotivation.com. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I look forward to being here every week with you guys in 2019. I greatly appreciate your guys' patience. Thank you guys so much. And as always, remember to breathe motivation and exhale success. And I'll see you next week. Thanks.